So unfortunately, there's a huge misunderstanding in the crypto market right now. And maybe it's because people choose to disregard some information and focus on certain things. And specifically, February, yes, tends to be a green month in the crypto market. Yes, it tends to lead us to some very exciting times. But what people seem to forget, and I can see this from the comments, is that people think if we don't get this in February, it's done. If we do, then it's great. And the problem is so many people deal with absolutes, and that is not how the crypto market works. In fact, there are many ebbs and flows throughout market cycles. That's why the charts don't always match perfectly. That's why they tend to rhyme more than anything. And believe it or not, really, February in general hasn't always been the moment where the market breaks out and goes on these big booms and leads us to some of the biggest explosions we will see in the charts. And I want to show you guys this so you can have a better understanding of where we're at right now. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I've been dropping hints about this all the way since when I started the channel back in 2022. I talked about it in 2023. I talked about it in 2024. And I know for a fact I have talked about it this year as well. I keep referencing this specific time frame that I think people need to pay attention to, and that is March, April, May. That 3-month window there is historically speaking where we tend to see this peak in the early part of alt season, up only season, right? That's where things tend to cool down as we go into the summer, where prices tend to kind of flatten out and get boring. And maybe this time's a little different, right? We don't know how fast adoption is going to take place, what kind of capital that brings to the market, but that's a discussion for a different day in general. Now, the problem is yes, February tends to be historically green for assets, and it hasn't been, right? People need to remember we just went through one of the largest black swan events in crypto history, largest liquidation event we have ever seen, okay? And the market is still trying to find its way since then. We've seen a little bit of green, a little bit of a recovery from there. Obviously, ADA right now at about 77, 78 cents or so, just kind of floating around in this range today, not making much headway. And that's okay, right? We are still waiting for the market to calm down. We're still waiting to see if the market makers have had enough of these discounts. Yes, we are dealing with some manipulation. They're trying to shake people out of their positions time and time again. You know, all these things we've talked about time and time again, they're still kind of present in the crypto market, all right? Now, that being said, yes, February has been good. In fact, February last market cycle was where everything started to run. We saw, ADA, for example, start to run basically February 1. February 1 hit, and then we basically boomed. This led us on this big, exciting run to the upside where we saw just green candle after green candle after green candle. And that's not surprising because when sentiment is positive, ADA tends to be very positive. I want to remind people of what November looked like. It was kind of wild because this run up, like what was it? 200%, 300%. There was 4 red candle days along that entire trend. Just the wildest thing we have ever seen. But here's the thing. Sentiment is not at that point right now. And sentiment is what brings us to new highs. Now, yes, February 1 was where ADA and other alts began to send last market cycle. BTC began to send on February 8th. We didn't have a total market breakout until, oh gosh, what day was that? Bear with me, guys, here. That wasn't until right here around February 3rd or so. All right. So that was in the early part of February, last market cycle. Well, when did things happen in the prior market cycle? We actually have to go back quite a ways and look at some historic data. And I think people seem to forget that really we didn't have this big alt season breakout, this big boom in the crypto market until about April. All right. When we look at BTC, for example, all the way back at that point in the market cycle, and bear with me while I go back through the data, take a look here. BTC actually wasn't really breaching its prior all-time high and making significant extensions at that point until the latter part of April, until April 25th of 2017, okay? Now, this isn't to confuse people with dates or anything like that. Understand that there are ebbs and flows in the market. Things are going to not always be exactly the same. Q1 is always a green quarter. All right. Now, yes, from January, we're down. From February, we're down. This year, and so far has kind of sucked. ADA is actually not doing too bad here. It's down about 9% right now, which can obviously easily be flipped around and we can start making moves to the upside. But we have had months that have frankly just sucked in Q1 of the year following the halving. Okay. So no, I'm not ready to say, oh, if February is red, then we're screwed, right? Or if March is red, we're screwed. We could have several months that are red months. All right. That's not an uncommon thing, because all it takes then is one green month to completely obliterate the common theme that we've been dealing with, right? When we look at ADA right now, we can see this month very much red. We obviously had a green January there. That was an exciting sign. You could very quickly see ADA and other alts, once we get that breakout, surge to new highs for this cycle in a matter of minutes, okay? It just, not a matter of minutes, matter of days, all right? So the point I want to make is stop dealing with absolutes. Stop thinking, oh, because this doesn't happen, this isn't going to happen. This also pertains to some of these projections for this cycle too. So I know some people were really excited about $25 ADA. Some people were like, oh, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. And what people need to remember here as well is the difference between, let's say, like a $15 ADA and a $25 ADA could be a matter of a week. Okay. What people seem to forget as well is ADA should have been a lot higher at the end of the last market cycle. And this isn't, making excuses or anything like that. But when we really think about what ADA did, it had an early peak compared to everything else. And the reason why that took place is we had a major sell the news event. We had a hard fork within the Cardano ecosystem, smart contracts coming online. So we basically missed about 2 months of the bull market, which sucks, because ADA could have frankly been around, $5, $6, $7, somewhere in there. And then you start thinking to yourself, oh, maybe $25 isn't so unrealistic after all. Now, that being said, I'm still sticking to my my thoughts, right? I still believe that we're going to see somewhere in that $7 to $15 ADA would make a lot of sense there. And again, a key component of that is Cardano getting adoption, the ecosystem coming online in a big way, government and enterprise integrations. Those are very big deals that makes ADA and Cardano start to separate themselves from the rest of the crypto market. And the door has frankly been left wide open. We're obviously seeing more interest surrounding Cardano than ever before. And I think that that's a big sign that, retail outside the space is in fact paying attention to it. It may not be on a big, huge scale quite yet, but when times do start to change, when sentiment starts to shift, don't be surprised if ADA is once again, just as it was in March, just as it was in November, one of the largest inflow of capital assets in the entire crypto market. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stop living in absolutes. Stop saying finite things. This has to happen or this won't happen, right? It's not how crypto works. Crypto doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about dates. Frankly, doesn't even care about trends. But what we have seen time and time again is that these assets continue to prevail despite the sentiment, despite the negative events. They continue to push onward and upward. So appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. But have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.